ini satelit merah putih sudah melebihi dari kecepatan suara. Di sini
we are 1 minute and 7 seconds into flight, and as you can see, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off. Coming up next, you'll hear max Q.
Vehicle is experiencing maximum dynamic pressure.
And as you just heard, the vehicle is experiencing maximum dynamic pressure. That's the point at which the stresses on the Falcon 9 are highest than they are at any other point during the flight.
Pada saat di titik maksimum Q, itu roket telah melampaui batas aerodinamis tekanan yang dapat ditahan oleh roket tersebut. Sehingga, nah saat ini roket sudah melampaui batas maksimum dari stres yang ada di ruang angkasa. Insya Allah, roket masih di titik maksimum ini, roket bisa bertahan untuk selanjutnya, ke step selanjutnya.
That'll be followed by stage separation.
Ini
That's where
main
stage 1
engine
will separate from
masih
stage 2.
on.
And then we'll have SCS1, or second engine start 1. That is where that MVAC engine, that Merlin vacuum engine on stage 2 is going to ignite and carry stage 2 onto orbit. We hear that MVAC chill is looking good. That's where we bleed a little bit of that super cold liquid oxygen into the engine.
Jadi untuk SpaceX, mereka menyediakan onboard kamera di stage 1 dan stage 2 sehingga kita bisa melihat pada saat separasin dari stage 1 dan stage 2. Begitu pula pada saat deployment dari roket stage 2. Nah, ini
nah, disinilah yang paling penting untuk satelit merah putih, di mana engine selanjutnya telah berhasil dihidupkan. Di sebelah kanan layar di situ terlihat bahwa
ini roket engine 2.
Now coming up in about 25 seconds we're going to have fairing deploy. So those
Jadi
fairing halves are going to
pertama
split away from stage 2
sudah
and make their way down to
alhamdulillah
Earth.
dilalui.
And stage 2 will continue on with the mirror putih satellite onto
Ini
its
stage
parking orbit.
pertama yang akan kembali lagi ke bumi.
MVAC D had a really solid startup, and all of the temperatures are looking really good. The burn is going nominally right now.
Separation confirmed.
And as you just saw, we just had a successful separation of that fairing. Once we get into the vacuum of space, we don't need it anymore, so we get rid of that extra mass.
Baru saja fairing yang menutupi melindungi satelit dari gesekan atmosfer sudah dibuka. Kenapa? Karena satelit beserta roketnya sudah melalui atmosfer.
Once it shuts down, it'll coast for about 18 minutes before relighting over the equator to raise Mira Petit to its deployment orbit, the geostationary transfer orbit. Now, while stage 2 is doing its job, stage 1, it's making its way back home down to Earth. Now, it's going to execute 2 burns. The first is the entry burn, which is coming up in about 1 minute and 50 seconds. The first stage is traveling at roughly 2,300 meters per second. And what this 3-engine burn is going to do is assist gravity in rapidly slowing the stage down. If we didn't do that, it would overheat and it would break up. This slows it down and protects it as it enters the Earth's thicker upper atmosphere. Now, the second of those stage 1 burns is called the landing burn. This is a single engine burn where we light that center engine E9, and it brings the vehicle's velocity down rapidly from about 250 meters per second